Alright, Sergeant 1911 here today, ready for another video. Let me make sure this weapon's safe and we'll talk about it a little bit. There we go. You guys have heard me say, beg, borrow, steal, you want video, tell me what you want and I'll take a little review of it. And that's what we got here. A friend of mine named David wanted to know if I want to look at his KelTec PMR-30. They're fired one. You know, for a long time they've been the talk, they've been the talk, they've been the talk. And hard to find, expensive when you do find them. And I've always wanted to shoot one. I always thought it'd be fun. Well, today I'm going to get a chance to review it. You know, here on Sergeant 1911, what we're going to talk about is my opinion. We're always going to talk about my opinion, but I don't want to talk too much. I like to shoot more than I like to talk. So what I'm going to tell you real quick is, you know, the guy started this company named George Kelgreen. Kicked it up about 1995. He originally from Sweden, worked with Herzegovina, some other firearms makers over there. He eventually ended up in the United States, trying to make a name for himself, building guns. He's involved himself with absolutely every gun. Now you guys who see these KelTechs around know they're a little bit different for most of us. He's got a bunch of bull pups, a bunch of polymer. He's had some trouble in the past. You know, the polymer, the quality hadn't always been there. And the reason I say this, I'm reading online about some of his equipment, some of his firearms, and I see where some of his polymer actually has polymer shavings coming off the firearm when you start firing them. And the quality of the KelTec weapons is just not there. You know, now, if you're into that cool stuff, you know, bull pumps and stuff, that's good. Almost makes me think about like Star Wars weapons, but they're not. This guy makes some weapons. Originally they had a lot of problem. This little pistol right here, the PMR30, has really helped them a lot, come along and helped them improve their quality. This thing got in high demand. Personally, here comes my opinion, I believe the reason it was in high demand is simply because it's advertised as 30 rounds of 22 Magnum. That's a lot. You don't get 30 rounds of 22 Magnum in anything. 30 rounds of 22 Magnum, right? Well, let's talk about this particular handgun. My friend David let me have a look at it, and like I said, it almost looks a little bit futuristic. Maybe not so much. I'm going to use my left hand instead of my right hand, and I want to show you, this thing is just like bar soap right here. I mean, it's flat slab side bar soap. Not the best ergonomic type deal, but it works. The trigger on it seems to be quite touchy. I'll touch the trigger and see. I don't know if we're ready. I don't know how it's going to pull, but it may not pull the way I got it set up in here. Like 4 pounds. Pretty good trigger on it. It's got an ambidextrous safety. Slide lock backs on one side, on this side. But I'm going to tell you something. It shoots pretty good, but I'm going to go back to a couple other things I talked about quality. It's got, look at the sights on it. Red, green. You see that? Can you get a good picture of that green one up the front? Before I ever fired the gun, take a look at that. Here's the quality we're talking about of KelTec. Let me pick it up before I lose it. You know, or this KelTec. I'm not saying all KelTechs are that way. What I'm saying is ergonomically designed, it's not. Quality is probably not. Does it go bang, bang, bang? Absolutely, it goes bang, bang, bang. And that's what counts. This one here, you know, it does have the rail underneath. It's somewhat ambidextrous is because it does have the ambidextrous safety on it. And look at the magazine release. The magazine release on the bottom, almost like a European design, which probably comes along with him from Sweden. The magazine release down on the bottom. You know, that's an old European design. I'm not familiar with a lot of KelTechs. I've shot a carbine before, and I don't have it anymore. I think the whole deal between the PMR30 is just 22 Magnum 30 rounds. I could not get 30 rounds in this magazine. There's another deal. I could only get about 25 rounds in it, and to be honest with you, I was worried about it feeding, because to get the 25 in there was a job. You know, it damn sure takes a lot longer to load it than it does to shoot it. It's probably going to be a pretty short video. There's not a lot to talk about. It's light, really light. You can hear it. Really, it does feel like a bar of soap in your hand. Kind of square. Does it do what it's intended to do? I'm sure it does. But it does it without a front sight. David, you see that on there? I didn't steal that from you. I'm going to make sure you get it back. And yeah, I don't know how much you shot the weapon, but it does shoot. It does shoot well. It is accurate. It's just not premium quality. Are they getting better? That's what I'm reading. They're getting better, but they're not there yet. So what I'm going to do, I guess from right here, I'm going to go ahead and put my eye protection on. Put my hearing protection on. Change it around. See if I can't guesstimate it with no front sight. Well, there we go. We got a failure to feed, which I kind of expected when we talked about, if you remember just a few minutes ago or seconds ago, I talked about I couldn't get the ammo to feed into the magazine. Here's exactly what I was expecting. So I'm going to lock this slide back, drop that magazine with my European design, and you'll see it did not pick up the next round. If you can see close enough, which I don't think you can, one of these cartridges right here has got a dent in it. So the bolt went forward. The bolt went forward and hit the casing of the shell and dented it just ever so slightly, but it did not push it up. So, you know, like I was talking about, this magazine did not load well. I did not expect it to feed well, and sure enough, it did not feed well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put another one in there that come out earlier and see if I can't try again to get this to run. Magazine in there. Let the slide go. Well, it did run dry that time. 30 rounds. It wasn't 30 rounds. Like I said, I couldn't get 30 rounds in it, but it did go. Move the magazine. Let the slide go forward. I don't know, you can hear it. Plastic, what it feels like, not polymer. My opinion, 30 rounds of 22 Magnum, awesome. If it could be in a different handgun. You know, I'm not going to sit and bash all Kel-techs. I'm not going to bash this one. This one here is kind of, you know, the quality is disappointing. Like I said, when your front sight falls off, the magazine's hard to load. It's not an impressive handgun. It is a handgun. It does go bang, bang, bang. So I tell you what to do. Let's just wrap this up. Like I said, pretty short. It's an old gun, new opinion. Okay, old gun, new opinion. That's what we're talking about. My opinion. Make sure, guys, click down below. Check out our sponsor, Continental Computer. We appreciate everything they do for us. You know, subscribe. Man, I passed a couple hundred the other day. Tickled me to death. It's almost like I sit around and watch it. I enjoy shooting, even when I'm not impressed by a handgun, any particular one. I still get a big hoot out of it. I like to try it, shoot everything I can get my hands on. I'll say it again. You got something that you want me to shoot or you want my opinion on, let me know and I'll try my best to do it. You know, until we get to shoot again next time, shoot safe, shoot straight, hood.